What's up, Photoshop fam? Today we're gonna fix a common problem that you find in a lot of photos. Yellow teeth. How do you fix them? Super easy. Stick around. What's up, Photoshop fam? I'm Rick Navarro, and this is the Pixel Laundry Photoshop Academy. Alright guys, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Today I'm going to show you two different ways that you can fix these, and it's super simple. Again, no matter how clean you keep your teeth, there's always a little bit of staining on them, and it's actually okay. You don't want to blow out teeth completely bleach white. They look crazy. I'm going to show you an example here in a second. But this is a simple technique for you to use on any image that has some teeth in it that just needs some kind of general cleaning. If it's going to get like exhaustive, if it's like crazy teeth and you need to do like more retouching than like color adjusting, that's a completely different thing. But this is a quick way for you to adjust teeth. Okay, so I've got this image here. I've actually already worked on it, but I'm going to start from scratch. And again, duplicate that base layer. And you might think you need to get in here and do some crazy selections, which you can. And if you want to be super tight, by all means, do that, make your selections super tight. But if you wanted to move really quick, you could do a color-based selection and isolate the colors in the teeth so that way you're only affecting the colors in the teeth and not like everything else around it. So I'm going to make a quick selection with my marquee tool, and based off of the color that I'm going to source, I'm going to use a hue sat layer, and based off of that yellow reddish color, I'm going to pull that color out. Now if I slide down, you can see if I slide it all the way down, you can see that there's yellows in the skin and there's reds in the skin. Now some of that is the bounce light that's happening from the mouth back on into the teeth. So that's why you're seeing, some of this outside area be affected. And obviously the teeth are being cleaned up as well. So if I turn it off and turn it on, turn it off and turn it on. Now just for the sake of arguing, I'm going to very loosely clean up this mask. And I can be loose because again, I isolated the color to just the yellow tonal range. And if you look right here, you'll see this little slider right here is your range. It's actually your color range. So this is one of my favorite tools in Photoshop to use, especially if I'm trying to move quickly and I'm trying to isolate colors and I don't have a lot of time for super meticulous masks. Most of the time I'm hardcore, I'm a bit of a Nazi when it comes to masks to keep it tight. But again, it is always about balancing the amount of time and effort and quality versus the project. So if a project calls for a super tight detail and there's a lot of time and the client is paying for that level of a service, then I'm going to go ahead and make sure everything is tight. But if I need to move quick, maybe the budget is really tight, maybe the turnaround is really tight, this is a quick way to get in there, make the necessary adjustment, still look good, but get done what I need to get done. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to hit the Alt or Option key here, and I'm just isolating the mask so you can actually see what happened. But I painted off the mask here. Now up at the top, it looks like I've got a little bleed over. So that's why the top here, you can see a little bit of the yellow up at the top. So let's just paint that back on. With a soft brush, I'm going in here and painting yellow out. Down here at the bottoms where there's a little bit of this glow happening, that yellow glow. Coffee, tea, Coke, anything that'll stain a t-shirt will stain your teeth. At least that's what they say. Now you can see by desaturating the color, they actually almost went a little gray. They're actually kind of like blue grayish. So this is why this technique isn't always my favorite. You could, in conjunction with the hue sat layer, add a layers level adjustment and use that mask as your mask. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'm putting a levels adjustment and I'm going to clip it down. If I hold down the Alt or Option key here, and click, it's going to use basically the mask that's under it. I like to use clipping a lot because the more you stack masks, unnecessarily so, the larger the file gets. It's a lot more information for Photoshop to maintain in the file. But if you use one mask and then say, I'm going to use all these adjustments and bind them to this one mask, it's a more economical way of using your masking system. So I use this levels adjustment here, and I'm going to pull it up. Let's see if it does it. Whoa, neon. Again, not supernatural. Okay. And again, and the reason is because it's, even when your teeth are white, you have a little bit of color in them, whether that's the bounce light in the room, that's the light coming from your lighting source, the sun or a strobe or a hot light or whatever, the color of your mouth reflecting back into your teeth. There's always a pinch of color. So you don't want to desaturate the color entirely because it makes it look really, really artificial. So what I like to do is actually, instead of pulling out all of the color, like here, I've desaturated entirely. I'm going to grab the lightness slider and slide it up. And I'm actually going to pull some of that color back. This tends to give a lot more natural of a look. So if we zoom back out, that's off and that's on. That's off and that's on. Now that's kind of the start. That's about where I would go. This is where I would say you can't really tell. You wouldn't really be sure. Okay. Now from here, I could go a little further. And again, maybe I add that levels adjustment. Let's reset that back to the beginning. And I'm just going to pull the midtones actually. Now we're getting a bright white smile that would pass as maybe a natural smile, which is really what I want. It doesn't look artificial. And because my mask is loose, there's some really soft blending and edges that visually you're not going to be able to see. Here's your before. Here's your after. Here's your before. Here's your after. I might tighten this mask down just a pinch because it's already bothering me, like I said. Just a little bit, especially on those bleeding kind of fuzzy edges where it starts to get a little soft and hazy. But again, a little bit of color inside of the teeth is actually not a bad thing, and it works to sell the image. All right, guys, that's it. Told you it was going to be quick. That's all I got for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If you've got an idea for a future show, comment down below. Until next time, Photoshop fam, be real. Catch you later.